where the San Francisco 49ers take the field with an NFC West title on the line as they'll take on the Arizona Cardinals. Hi everybody, I'm Gus Johnson along with my partner Charles Davis, and welcome to San Francisco. And teams talk about trophies, silverware, winning titles, and having their names attached with those titles. San Francisco with the perfect opportunity at home to do just that today.
Last year, one step away from going for a Super Bowl championship, but they won the NFC West. Now they have a chance to go back-to-back for another championship. That's what they're thinking about. They'll be led by a new quarterback, Colin Kaepernick. It was Alex Smith last year. And on defense, Patrick Willis is still one of the best players in the game. They want to put together a really good effort leading themselves into the playoffs.
Meanwhile, for this Arizona team, they know what's on the line for San Francisco. They'd love to spoil it for them.
Right now, they know that they're not going to the playoffs. They know that change may be in the air in Arizona, but they know that today's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for their young quarterback, Brian Hoyer, to put into effort, put into play what he learned in New England 3 years under Tom Brady. It's an opportunity for Patrick Peterson to show why he's one of the best cornerbacks in the game and is going to the Pro Bowl at that position. An opportunity to spoil a championship for the San Francisco 49ers.
All right, time now to join the third member of our team on the sideline. Here's Christina Pink.
Thanks a lot, Gus. Well, after the beating they took in Seattle last week, the Niners know they have to have a short memory. That's actually something they've been able to master under Jim Harbaugh, never losing 2 games in a row under his tenure. I talked to a couple players before the game who told me, well, it's pretty impossible to have any carryover under this coach, especially with the way they practice. The message heading into this game, 3 R's: regroup, refit, and reorganize. Let's see if they can get that accomplished today, Gus.
All right, thank you very much, Christina. So for Jim Harbaugh, here's what's at stake. If they win, they clinch the division. And for Arizona, they're looking for their first win at San Francisco. For Coach Whisenhunt since 2008, Aldon Smith needs 3.5 sacks to break the single-season sack record. And we know our Michael Strahan is in Los Angeles, and he's biting his nails as he gets ready to go back to work next week in New York.
And he also knows that J.J. Watt of the Houston Texans did not get that done today. No sacks. So the last guy with a shot, Aldon Smith, this afternoon.
San Francisco won the toss. They deferred. Arizona to receive. Stevens howling. And he crosses the 20, gets up to the 21-yard line. So that brings us to the Arizona Cardinals and the impact players.
Is there a better professional in the game today than Larry Fitzgerald? I think not. Also one of the top players. Andre Roberts has really advanced his game and has stepped up. On defense, Aldon Smith chasing the sack record of Michael Strahan and Patrick Willis. 6 years in the league, 6 straight Pro Bowls. One of the best in the NFL.
So Brian Hoyer, in his 4th year out of Michigan State, makes his first NFL start. He'll throw on first down, underneath, and a catch. So that's a nice way to start. Michael Floyd with his 38th grab of the year. And Brian Hoyer picked up off waivers from Pittsburgh on December 11th. Last week against Chicago, he came off the bench in the 3rd quarter. After starter Ryan Lindley threw a pick 6 that put Arizona in a 26-6 hole and completed 11 of 19 passes for 105 yards with 1 interception. He was sacked twice. 2nd down and 3. Hoyer to the sideline. And incomplete. Floyd, the intended receiver, wants it again. And here's his kid Hoyer, who spent his first 3 seasons as Tom Brady's backup with the Patriots.
And that rubs off on you if you choose to accept it. How to work, how to study, how to prepare. Brian Hoyer learned all that under Tom Brady. Their friends to this day said they talked on Christmas Day. Tom Brady told him to make the most of his opportunity. I had a chance to talk to Brian in pregame, Gus. And he said, you know, the waiting is the worst part. Let's go play. And Larry Fitzgerald had some very nice things to say about Brian Hoyer. Called him a gym rat, which is high compliment for a young quarterback.
Watch Fitzgerald. He's the receiver at the bottom of your screen. 3rd down and 3. Hoyer to throw it again. Underneath and knocked away. Michael Floyd, the intended receiver, but Cox was there. Parrish Cox in his 2nd year. And that'll bring on Dave Zastino to punt it away.
And how good does San Francisco feel getting off the field on a three and out to get things started with the way things have gone for them in the last 6 quarters, where this defense, one of the best in the league, has been gashed in their last 2 outings against New England and Seattle.
Dave Zacido punting from the 15-yard line. Ted Ginn Jr. back deep, hovering around the 25, signals for the fair catch, lets it go over his head, and downed at the 1.
The only thing I can think is that he thought he was on the 10-yard line. Instead, he was set up on the 20. They teach you as a punt returner, put your heels on the 10. If it goes over your head, you let it go. But on the 20, catch the football on a fair catch. Look at the yardage given up and the hole he's put his offense in.
So a 70-yard punt for Zacido. And that brings us to the impact players for the San Francisco 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals defense.
Michael Crabtree needs 67 yards today for 1,000 yards, the first wide receiver in San Francisco since 2003. Randy Moss has to step up with injury to Mario Manningham. Calais Campbell is one of the best defensive ends in the league you don't know about.
So on first down, San Francisco trying to get a little bit of room. But the thing about this Arizona Cardinals defense, they don't give up. They play hard from the very first snap to the end of the football game, game in and game out.
You're talking about a top 5 defense in the NFL this year that people aren't aware of because of the record of this team. Many of the issues that they've had this year is the offense not able to control the football.
Miller and Gore in the backfield. And here's Frank Gore. Harris Lennon wraps him up for a 1-yard gain. So that brings up 3rd down and 8 for San Francisco.
And here's where Arizona's defense can really help their team out. The error by Ted Ginn allowing the ball to hit and putting the offense in a hole. If Arizona can hold here and force a punt, it gives them excellent field position and helps out their very struggling offense.
3rd down and 8 at their own 3. Colin Kaepernick making his 7th start in the shotgun. He'll hand it off to Frank Gore. Gore gets to the 11-yard line, close to a first down. Lennon there again defensively, along with Vonnie Holliday.
I think they're going to call it 4th down and a little bit short.
And here comes the punt team. Andy Lee will come on the field.
Watch the play inside. Gore so close to getting the first down. Lennon with the initial contact, and then he gets some help from the inside from Vonnie Holliday, as you described, just short of the first down. This should set
voted to his 2nd straight Pro Bowl. The only Arizona Cardinal player to make it to the Pro Bowl. Now Peterson comes up to make the catch at the 42. Peterson gets to midfield and is wrapped up. A 48-yard punt, an 8-yard return. Anthony Dixon with the tackle on special teams. But for young Brian Hoyer, he's got solid field position on his 2nd drive. Welcome back to Candlestick. Arizona with a 1st down and 10 at their own 49. Hoyer hands it off to Powell on 1st down. He slashes through the 49er defense and gets to the 41. Patrick Willis with the tackle, but a very nice run for William Powell in his first full season out of Kansas State.
And this is the worst rushing team in the league. Definitely on the bottom, averaging about 77 yards per game running the ball. The more they're able to be effective doing that, the more pressure they take off the young quarterback, Brian Hoyer.
9-yard gain, 2nd and 1. Hoyer out of the gun. Delayed handoff and a flag. False start coming up.
False start. Number 71 offense, 5-yard penalty remains. 2nd down.
Pete Morelli, your referee this afternoon.
It's Darren College, who came over from the Green Bay Packers, a starter for them, one of the most dependable players they have. But those are the kind of errors that lead you to a 5-10 season. 2nd and short, now you go to about 2nd and 6 and put pressure back on the quarterback making his first start.
Here's Hoyer underneath. Almost picked off. Wow. Dante Whitner had a hand on the football intended for Jeff King, the tight end.
And you see how quickly things change, because here's King on the inside running his route. And as he goes, The ball comes off of his hands. Whitner almost takes it the other way. Whitner going to the Pro Bowl for the first time in his distinguished career. But Gus, go back. It was 2nd and 1. The penalty makes it 2nd and 6. Instead of running the ball, they throw it.
So that brings up 3rd down and 6 at the 47. Crowd getting into it at Candlestick. Hoyer steps up in the pocket, wants to run. He's got room. Dives and gets the 1st down. Brian Hoyer using his legs. And the Cardinals keep the chains moving.
Showed a lot of poise back there, didn't he? He was under siege on that play. The pocket broke down quickly inside. Able to sidestep. Doesn't have any targets downfield and picks up a key 1st down for the Arizona Cardinals.
From the 41 of San Francisco. Out of the eye. Powell, the deep man. They give it to him. And Powell. And expect William Powell and LaRod Stevens-Howling to get a lot of carries instead of Beanie Wells. Beanie may have stuck his foot in his mouth this week.
I don't think it was a may. He did. Talking about he's auditioning for the rest of the league after a tough game last week. Fumbled the ball inside the 1. The Bears fall on it for a touchdown. That doesn't endear him to his teammates or his coaches. You have problems, you keep them internal.
2nd down and 7 at the 38. Here's the reverse. And it's Roberts trying to get around the corner. But Patrick Willis is there and says, not on my watch. That's a loss of 2.
And that's the hard thing to do against the 49ers and many 3-4 teams, especially one like the Niners who can flat out run. Misdirection, you try and use their speed against them, but watch Willis inside. Okay, he and Navarro Bowman, one of the things they can both do is run. Excuse me, I had Bowman circled. That's Willis on the opposite side. Look how he just reads his keys, shoots the gap, and runs the play down.
3rd down and 9 at the 40. You have to expect Hoyer to look for Larry Fitzgerald eventually. Hoyer to the sideline and incomplete. Intended for Michael Floyd. A little bit of movement for Arizona, but they'll have to punt it again. Here comes Dave Zastidle.
We hear all these teams and all these players nowadays talk about having swag and getting their swag back. These first 2 series on defense for the 49ers, it's one of the best defenses in the league that's had trouble recently. They're getting their swag back early in this game.
Zastidle from the 46. Ted Ginn Jr. inside his own 10. This is a Darren Bennett end-over-end Aussie kick and is fielded at the 11-yard line. 28-yard punt. So coming up, Colin Kaepernick and the San Francisco 49ers offense back on the field. Welcome back. Let's take a look at some of the scores from the early games.
The Giants win big against Philadelphia, gave themselves some early hope, but then Chicago went to Detroit and won. Chicago now in the playoffs. The Giants eliminated.
San Francisco starting at the 12-yard line on their first drive. They started at 1. Frank Gore trying to create. And he'll gain about a yard on the play. Darrell Washington with the tackle. Now let's take a look at the playoff picture.
Atlanta lost today, but they had home field clinch going into today. They're fine. Green Bay now battling Minnesota. San Francisco we're watching right now. Washington and Dallas. With the events that have happened already today, that game now is an elimination game for the playoffs. No longer is a wild card a possibility for Washington. It's win or go home for those 2 teams.
Michael James, the rookie out of Oregon, checks in at running back for San Francisco. Here's Kaepernick on the play fake, rolling. Kaepernick buying time and he'll dump it out of bounds. 8:14 to play in the first quarter. Time now for a game break. Here's Patrick O'Neill.
Gus, thanks. You mentioned the Texans losing opens the door, of course, for the Broncos. They win, and they have home field advantage throughout. No Sean Moreno. Broncos made it look easy. They lead Kansas City 7-0 as we go back to Gus and CD. I mean, Peyton Manning, is this your MVP pick too early?
Tell you what, Patrick, he's going to be a guy that's going to get a lot of votes. I'm still looking at Adrian Peterson, though, for the job he's done in Minnesota.
And how about Indianapolis defeating Houston?
They went Chuck Strong today, didn't they?
False start. Number 15 offense. 5-yard penalty remains. 3rd down.
Chuck Pagano, it was announced last week that he would come back and coach this game. Indianapolis clinched a playoff spot last week. Really couldn't do much more to affect their spot, right? they still went out today and spoiled the hopes, possibly spoiled the hopes of the Houston Texans of having home field advantage, playing for Chuck Pagano, making his triumphant return.
3rd down and 14 at the 8. Kaepernick with time, sideline, Crabtree in the air. Oh! Almost intercepted. Darrell Washington had 2 hands on the football, just couldn't bring it in.
And watch Michael Crabtree, the wide receiver for San Francisco. Patrick Peterson, excellent coverage. Now watch as the ball gets tipped. See, Washington has it, but look at the play by Crabtree. He became a defender after he was the offensive player. If he doesn't make that play and punch it free, the interception is made by Darrell Washington, and Arizona's in great field position.
Andy Lee punting. The back of his end zone, this one, short kick. And it will die at about the 47. So great field position for Arizona once again. The big question, can they get it to Fitz? Larry Fitzgerald looking for a big breakout game. Will it happen in San Francisco? We'll see. Welcome back. No score. Arizona with the football at their own 47. Ryan Hoyer will throw it on 1st down. And it's caught. Larry Fitzgerald with his first grab of the game. It's hard to believe Larry Fitzgerald is in his 9th year out of Pitt. His streak of 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons will likely come to an end today. He needs 215 yards.
Look at the catch. Look at the hands. Ball never gets to his body, yet you can't knock it free. And that's Carlos Rogers, who was in the Pro Bowl last year, a terrific corner. Can't get away from Larry Fitzgerald. Maybe the best and strongest hands in the game today.
Gain of 7, 2nd and 3 at the 46. Hoyer over the middle and beautiful throw. Michael Floyd with the reception. And I guess if you have a chance to have a mentor like Tom Brady, there's something that can be translated on the field once you get your shot.
The key is, do you choose to accept it and embrace it? And Brian Hoyer has done all of that. How you prepare, how you watch film, how you train, how you read defenses, how you handle crises. Brian Hoyer's had a terrific mentor trying to put it into action today.
15-yard gain. Hoyer going through his progressions. Nice throw and catch at the 20 and a 1st down. Andre Roberts. And here's the key, Charles. If Arizona can keep this game close, will San Francisco do the Archie Bell and the Drell?
Will they do, are you saying, will they do the tighten up?
Yes.
Because that possibility exists when you're playing for a title and you're getting pressed by a team that you should handle.
Pat McQuistan, the right guard, on the sideline being tended to now. Senio Clemente, a rookie out of Washington with his first opportunity this season. 1st and 10 of the 19. Here's a handoff. Powell. And for San Francisco, Charles, since halftime of the New England game 2 weeks ago, the 49er defense has given up 66 points and close to 800 yards of offense.
And remember, that's not counting returns off of an interception or the blocked field goal return that was in Seattle, because the 73 goes to that. The 66 is purely defense, and that's where they've struggled. Today they've gotten off to a terrific start, but remember, Justin Smith is not there on the right side of the defense for the San Francisco 49ers. The all-pro defensive end.
Out with an elbow injury. Hoyer scrambling, and he gets rid of it. Closest man to the football, Andre Roberts.
I think you have to like what you're seeing out of Brian Hoyer early in this game, don't you? Calm, poised. He's not been shaken in the pocket despite pressure in his face. He's used his slide steps in the pocket to create openings and vision. He's run for a key 1st down up the middle after the pressure came up at him. So I'm liking what I'm seeing of Brian Hoyer early. Can he make the winning plays down here in the red zone to put points on the board for Arizona?
3rd down and 8 at the 17. Here's Hoyer looking for Fitzgerald, and he threw that one behind him. Chris Culliver there defensively for the 49ers.
Niners aren't a big pressure team, and they rushed 4 on that one and dropped 7. Playing coverage against Brian Hoyer. Had Fitzgerald double covered, would have taken an amazing throw to get in there. 49ers had him blanketed, bringing on Feely.
So Jay Feely, 23 of 26 on the season. This one from 35 yards away. And the Arizona Cardinals take an early lead. 5:33 to play in the first quarter. Arizona on top of Jim Harbaugh's team. So Arizona going on a 7-play, 37-yard drive. And how about this, the field goal? And it's the first time the Cardinals have led the 49ers since 2008.
And that's the good news, but they've had terrific field position the last 2 drives. Start out around the 50 both times. Only got 3 points out of it. So if you're San Francisco, which has not had good field position to start on offense, you're heartened by the idea you only gave up 3. I love Jay Feely with the gloves. You know, he looks like he's about to do work out there.
Yeah, he certainly does.
You know, he's not just going to kick it. Look at him.
He's got guns as well.
Is it, you think he works out with Hockey League?
Yes, he probably does. Windy day here in San Francisco. Michael James back deep. And James will bring it out of the end zone. Michael James hits the sideline, trips at the 30, and gets up to the 32-yard line. Michael Adams with the tackle on special teams for Arizona. Friday, one of the best bowl games of the year is on Fox. His Heisman Trophy winner and one of the most talked about players in the country, Johnny Manziel, also known as Johnny Football, leads 9th-ranked Texas A&M against the 11th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners. The AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic is Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox.
I think Oklahoma loves the idea of actually being an underdog. Now, a few times they experienced that in their football career.
Not too often. Frank Gore. And he's tackled by William Gay. Here's Patrick O'Neal for a game break.
Gus, let's take a look at Adrian Peterson. 61 yards already in the first quarter. Look at that move, 7-yard touchdown run. So AD needing 147 to pass Eric Dickerson. A single season rushing record and a win for the Vikings. They're in the playoffs. Gus, CD, back to you.
All right, Patrick, and he's been playing with an abdominal strain the last few games. Hasn't practiced very often. Looks healthy today.
2nd and 10 on the run. Vernon Davis gets crunched again. Back-to-back weeks. Adrian Wilson this time. Davis suffering a concussion last week on a tough hit against Seattle.
So the good news is that he got a pass from Colin Kaepernick. Here's the bad news coming up. And on first blush, Gus, that looks a lot like the hit that you referenced from Cam Chancellor. Clean and legal, shoulder leading into the body of Vernon Davis, not to the head.
3rd down and 5 to the 36. Trips at the top of your screen. Kaepernick. Underneath and incomplete. That ball intended for A.J. Jenkins, the rookie out of Illinois. Goes right through his hands, and Niners have to punt it away again.
And Jenkins was a controversial pick on draft day for San Francisco. Many people wondering why. They've seen a lot of talent in him, but he struggled really from the first day in San Francisco. Struggled at minicamp, not in great shape. Struggled to pick up things here. No catches on the season so far, and now they really need him with the injury last week to Mario Manningham, who's out for the season.
So Andy Lee in the punt again from the 22. Lee named to the Pro Bowl this week. Drives this football. Peterson will backpedal. Fields it inside his own 10. Good special teams coverage by the 49ers. Peterson out of bounds, close to the 15, a 55-yard punt and a 6-yard return. As we take a look at some of the Pro Bowl players, wild card coming up on Fox next Sunday. Fox Sports brings you an NFC wildcard matchup between two of the league's best teams to find out which one will advance and keep their championship dreams alive.
Now Romo and RG3 tonight to settle who goes to the playoffs and has a possibility of being in that wild card game.
1st down and 10 to the 13. Here's Powell running left. And tough sledding Powell gets close to the 20. Ricky Jean-Francois, the Haitian-born player, with the tackle, along with Dante Whitner.
We look at the first quarter offense of Arizona versus San Francisco. You would think it would be flipped by how the season has gone for these two teams. A nice start for Arizona. And I like how you referenced how he was running left. They continue to go to that side where Justin Smith is absent at defensive end for the 49ers.
A gain of 6, 2nd and 4 at the 19. Hoyer, pump fake, floats one up top, and caught Floyd at midfield. Beautiful throw by Brian Hoyer. That's a gain of 33.
And this is what's difficult for a defensive back, because watch Culliver, number 29. He's going to get turned, and he's looking back, and he sees the receiver and doesn't locate the football. Michael Floyd does, able to stop, come back to it. That's why coaches on offense tell their quarterbacks, put it up there. Let your receiver make a play on the ball. 9 out of 10 times the receiver has the advantage in being able to see the ball, stop, and come back to it.
First down at the 47 of San Francisco. Here's Powell with running room. And Powell inside the 40. Ian Williams grabbed his ankle and brings him down after a 9-yard pickup. So the Arizona Cardinals playing loose, Charles.
And look at where they're running the football. What did you say earlier? To the left. Justin Smith not there. Ricky Jean-Francois trying to fill in. And right now, Ken Whisenhunt has a game plan to move the ball to the left side, and it's working.
2nd down and 1. Powell again picks up the first down, stays on his feet and dives forward and gets to the 26. An 11-yard gain. So gains of 33, 9, and 11 on the last 3 plays for Arizona.
And would you guess that William Powell in his college career at Kansas State had 23 carries in his career? That's not often the resume of a young man who's going to make a roster in the NFL and carry the football in a key game such as today.
On first down, Powell hopping, but he did play for the great Bill Snyder. And you know, Bill Snyder's players, when they leave Kansas State, they are ready to play in the NFL.
They know how to play the game, don't they? They understand what it takes to work. They understand about sticking to it. And William Powell never lacked for confidence in his abilities and found a way to make this team. And today is exhibiting the talent that he felt got hidden a little bit at Kansas State.
2nd down and 9 to the 27. Play fake. Hoyer finds another receiver at the 15. This time it's Jim Dre, his tight end, in his 3rd year. Local kid out of Stanford. A 12-yard gain.
You hear oftentimes about how time of possession isn't as key anymore because of the way people can throw the football. But I think for the Cardinals, time of possession is huge today. Keeping the San Francisco offense off the field, possessing the football, eating the clock up, and shortening the game.
First down. Powell bottled up. Tries to break it back across field, but nowhere to go because Sopuaga was there along with Aldon Smith.
And the guy who really made the play, I feel, was Ahmad Brooks, number 55, because he forced it to where Powell had to make the cutback right into the traffic you described.
But a confidence-building first quarter for young Brian Hoyer, making his first career NFL start. Here's a man that was on the street a couple of weeks ago after getting cut by Pittsburgh. But he's on top 3-zip and driving as we head to the second quarter here at Candlestick Park. Back to San Francisco right after this. Start of the second quarter, Arizona with the lead and driving at the 18-yard line. We'd like to welcome our men and women in uniform serving around the world, watching our broadcast in 175 countries and abroad, ships at sea on AFN, the American Forces Network. Thanks for all you do. 2nd down and 13 at the 18-yard line. 8th play of the drive. Here's the handoff. Stevens howling, and he'll lose yardage on the play. Ahmad Brooks with the tackle. 7th year out of Virginia.
Third and 14. It'll be interesting what Ken Whisenhunt wants Brian Hoyer to do or will allow him to do. You're already set up for field goal. you're already set up in field goal range. You don't want anything to prevent the opportunity for points against this tough San Francisco defense. Really let him take a shot downfield.
Hoyer, 6 of 12, 87 yards. He'll throw it. Underneath, and caught by Larry Fitzgerald. They won't pick up the first down, but it'll give A.J. Feely some extra yardage for the field goal attempt.
One of the underrated aspects of great wide receivers is usually how physical they are and how they run their routes. How about Larry Fitzgerald on that one? That type of contact, absorbs it, makes the catch, and sets up a shorter field goal attempt.
Pardon me, Jay Feely. Good from 35 yards. This one from 31 yards away. And it's good. Cardinals up 6-0 as we start the second quarter. 13:44 the play in the second quarter. Let's take a look at the NFC playoff races.
For the Rams-Seahawks game 0-0, and the Packers down 13-0 to the Vikings. So right now the 49ers like what they're seeing. If they can go ahead and win this game, because the Vikings win over the Packers would give the 49ers the #2 seed if they win. But if they lose and Seattle wins today, coupled with a Green Bay win, Seattle could move into the #2 slot. How about that? Excuse me, a Green Bay loss, not a Green Bay win. Excuse me.
This ball fielded at the 15. And it's Delaney Walker, the up man on the kickoff return. So that brings in Kaepernick. San Francisco 3 and out on all 3 drives to start this game.
And it's time for that 49ers offense to get moving. They've struggled in the last half of the New England game, although they made a big play down the stretch with Crabtree to win it, and obviously struggled at Seattle, struggling today. The defense is keeping them in it, only giving up field goals. The offense has to get things kick-started now.
First down and 10 of the 19. Kaepernick on play action on first down. Scrambling out of the pocket, nobody to throw to, and a tiptoe out of bounds. Colin Kaepernick, his 7th start last week against Seattle. He was 19 of 36 for 244 yards, a touchdown, and interception. He was sacked once. 4-2 as a starter, replacing Alex Smith.
And I've liked this young man's potential since he came out of Nevada, running the pistol offense. We're seeing some of those elements incorporated into the San Francisco offense, and his use of his legs on play 1 is a big part of his game.
Gained 7 yards. Frank Gore cuts it back inside, picks up the first down. David Carter, the second-year man out of UCLA, with the tackle.
And that's another part of the offense that the 49ers are trying to get activated. No one talks about it much, but Frank Gore going to a Pro Bowl again, another 1,000-yard season, but he has not had a 100-yard game since Week 7 against Seattle. They'd love to have him moving as the Frank Gore of old as they head into the playoffs.
First down for San Francisco. The Michael James in now out of the offset eye. They pitch it to him. That will break the other way with blocking. James with a hole. James cutting back. James elusive at midfield. LaMichael James. That's what we remember at Oregon. 26 yards.
Now watch this play, because this is Joe Staley, their Pro Bowl left tackle. Watch how active he is in this play. Look at him. He starts left to influence, and then he pulls back. Kaepernick throws a block there. Now watch Staley coming out, running from the opposite tackle. Look at the block by Anthony Davis, 76. And then LaMichael James with some determined running. But look at that downfield. That's Davis, 76. The offensive line getting deep into the secondary to help out LaMichael James with some nifty moves of his own.
He'll remain in the game. First down and 10 at the Cardinal 44. Kaepernick over the middle and caught by Crabtree. Michael Crabtree down at the 26-yard line, a gain of 17. Justin Bethel, the rookie, with the tackle.
And now we're starting to see things pick up. You get a couple of first downs, a couple of big runs. Now they get the ball to Crabtree, their go-to receiver, who's having a breakout year. Beats Patrick Peterson, number 21 inside. Kaepernick puts it on him. First down, 49ers.
Last week against Seattle, Crabtree, 4 catches, 65 yards. In the first meeting against Arizona, he had 5 catches for 72 yards and 2 touchdowns. First down and 10 to the 27. Frank Gore now. Gore getting to the 25-yard line.
And look at the disparity in catches, all right, for the guys who are playing today, because Manningham's not playing. Crabtree with 78. The next guy, Randy Moss, 26 in terms of wide receivers. Manningham not playing, so he's not on the list today. Ted Ginn has 2 for a grand total of 1 yard. A.J. Jenkins has a drop today. No catches on the season.
Second leading receiver on this team, Vernon Davis with 40 catches. 2nd and 8 at the 25. Easy tight end. Kaepernick looking, steps up, and goes down. Gobbled up quickly by Campbell. Calais Campbell, 300-pounder out of Miami. He's had a solid season, 5.5 sacks. Got that 5-year contract in May, and he's 6 feet 8 inches.
And people look at him and say, boy, what a monster. But they also have to take into account how difficult it is to play defensive line at 6'8" in terms of leverage. Getting down and being low against the run, and he does that very well.
3rd down and 12. Kaepernick. Kaepernick will run it. And gets out of bounds. Well short of the first down. So San Francisco will be forced to attempt a field goal.
Felt to me, tell me what you saw. Last 2 plays, I thought Colin Kaepernick got caught in between. Do I run it? Do I throw it? Wasn't real decisive and ended up running out of time. I think maybe as this game progresses, he might not take that extra read and use those terrific legs of his and work himself into the secondary and run for some yardage. That could hurt the defense of Arizona.
Brings on David Akers in his 14th year. In to attempt a 44-yarder. No good. Wow. And the Boo Birds coming out at Candlestick. David Akers. 6-zip Arizona. David Akers has struggled this season from 40 yards and out. San Francisco coming up empty. Now Arizona with the football. For the field goal attempt, Arizona's William Gay giving David Akers a hard time. Watch 22 at the top. Akers a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. William better watch out.
And San Francisco fans coming into this game, I talked with some people before the game, and David Akers, who was 44 for 52 last year, hit 7 field goals from 50 yards plus, was the Pro Bowl kicker, All-Pro. People have lost confidence in David Akers in the San Francisco area. The boos we heard were reserved strictly for him, even though he's a quality kicker.
2nd down, Hoyer. Incomplete. That when thrown behind his intended receiver.
And I think a lot of people heard the boos and thought that was for the 49ers offense and what was going on. People have really struggled with David Akers, but they're going to need him down the stretch, and he's a guy who's made big kicks before. Expect him to bounce back. But look at that average starting field position. It's hurt San Francisco all game and has helped Arizona.
3rd down and 7 at the 37. Cardinals need to go to the 44 for first down. Hoyer. Incomplete. That one thrown a tad high for Andre Roberts. And the Cardinals will put it away.
Dante Whitner, who will lower the boom on you in a heartbeat. Excellent coverage. His first Pro Bowl appearance will be this year. An excellent career in Buffalo and now here in San Francisco. But you notice on key 3rd down, San Francisco's not a big blitz team. They want to rush 4 using Aldon Smith as their main rusher and drop 7 into coverage and suffocate the receivers in passing lanes.
Zassidle punting from the 23. Gets off a beauty. Ginn Jr. lets it go over his head and into the end zone. A 63-yard punt. Cardinals defense, though, stepping up this afternoon, shutting out the 49ers so far with 8:08 to play in the second. 8:08 to play second quarter. Arizona with a 6-0 lead over the San Francisco 49ers. Colin Kaepernick, slow start. Frank Gore, 6 carries, 15 yards. First down and 10. Kaepernick, straight drop. Over the middle, Crabtree. yards.
Crabtree to the bottom of your screen, farthest receiver, running inside the Pro Bowl cornerback Patrick Peterson. And how about the throw from Kaepernick? Stands tall in the pocket and delivers. The guy I call the Transformer, Optimus Prime, Colin Kaepernick, exhibiting his skills on that play.
First down and 10 at the 49. Now Kaepernick stepping up on the run. Crabtree again. Over the shoulder. Touchdown 49ers. Two plays, 80 yards, 31 yards to Crabtree, and then a 49-yard touchdown. And San Francisco is on the board.
Okay, here he is working on the inside against number 25, Kerry Rhodes, but Rhodes has zone coverage, and Crabtree able to get to the back part as Peterson not able to drop deep. But watch this. Now watch Kaepernick. Stop it right there. He's got plenty of room to actually run it. Remember I said he could run it? But on this play, he was decisive in that he knew that he had a receiver open, and he delivered.
Extra point by Akers, up and good. Michael Crabtree, as you mentioned early, needed 67 yards to become the first 49er receiver to go over 1,000 yards since 2003. He's got it. 97 yards receiving, and the Niners have a 1-point lead. Welcome back, and how about this for Michael Crabtree, the first 49er wide receiver with 1,000 yards since 03. Back then, it was Terrell Owens.
All the greatness predicted for Michael Crabtree coming to fruition now after being drafted. And look at the kickoff unit now. They're ready to rock and roll, aren't they?
8th touchdown catch of the season for Crabtree. How will Arizona respond? Akers sends it away. Stevens howling. Comes up to field it. And he'll go down to the 20. Bruce Miller with the tackle on special teams. Now let's go to Kurt Menefee with the game break.
And a little more breathing room for the Niners. Just moments after the Crabtree touchdown, St. Louis scored. Sam Bradford to Austin Pettis, 2 yards on the touchdown. The Rams have a lead 7-3 over the Seahawks there in Seattle. Gus, Charles?
All right, Kurt. So the Rams putting the pressure on. Minnesota still leads 13-0 over Green Bay. Both of those games have an effect on what happens here with San Francisco and Arizona.
First down and 10 at the 21. Hoyer. Ball deflected. Oh, and picked up by an offensive lineman. Calamete. He just took that one out of the air. The rookie from Washington, and gains 10 yards. That's got to be a play of the day.
How about the alertness of Senio Calamete? You mentioned it earlier. Now watch here. That's Calamete. All right, working inside at offensive guard. You mentioned earlier, Gus, this is his first NFL action in his career. And he took the ball away from Isaac Sopoaga, number 90. Just determined to take it off of the tip.
So a first down. William Powell running. He'll pick up 5.
With the way things have gone in the passing game for Arizona, Ken Wisenhunt might think about dialing that up again later, right?
If he could.
He's like, if I could draw that up again.
Calamete coming in for Pat McQuistan, who's in the locker room now with an ankle injury. His return is questionable. Second down and 5 yards to go. At the 36. Powell slipping. And he'll keep his feet moving, pick up a couple. Ricky Jean-Francois defensively. And Ricky changed it from Jean to Jean.
Yeah, because I went back and looked at my old boards and looked at pronunciation, and it was Jean. Okay, so Ricky decided to go full out there and go with the traditional French, Ricky Jean. And there's Ken Wisenhunt. Big third down call I think he's done a terrific job in his time in Arizona despite the records recently. A lot of injuries. Hey, you go coach a team that's had to start 4 different quarterbacks in a season, see what success you all have. Tough to do.
3rd down and 3. Hoyer. Incomplete. Tried to force that one into Larry Fitzgerald. And broken up. Terrell Brown. 6th-year man out of Texas. Getting a hand on the football.
Last time they played, Terrell Brown had 6 passes broken up against Arizona. And without the true threat of running the football on 3rd down and 3, San Francisco elects to rush 4, play coverage, and try and take away the passing lanes, especially to Larry Fitzgerald. That strategy is working for the 49ers and their coordinator, Vic Fangio.
Dave Zassidle punting from the 24. Ted Ginn Jr. back at his own 16. Zassidle hangs this one high in the air. And it's fair caught at the 22. A 40-yard punt. So Colin Kaepernick providing a spark on his last drive. First it was Michael Crabtree. Again it was Michael Crabtree. And then the touchdown to Michael Crabtree.
Well, we saw the disparity in numbers between Crabtree and Randy Moss. At that point, it was, what, 78-26. That tells you sometimes you just have to go to your best receiver no matter what the coverage, no matter what you're worried about, they will go get it.
A.J. Jenkins motion to cross.
This doesn't look good right from the word go, does it?
They hand it off to Frank Gore. Nothing.
You can see the struggles of the youngster A.J. Jenkins, number 17. Where to line up, what position to be in. He started out on the left side. They've gone frantically motioned him over to the right side. Then he was on the line of scrimmage, had to motion him to get off the line of scrimmage, otherwise they would have had a penalty for too many men on the line of scrimmage. The youngster trying to figure it out, and they need him to figure it out in a hurry. Without Manningham, they need all receivers to step up to try and complement Michael Crabtree.
Manningham likely done for the year with a knee injury, ACL and PCL. Kaepernick.
Smart play there.
Colin Kaepernick, you know, it was a controversial decision. We talked to Jim Harbaugh about it at the 49ers facility on Friday, naming Colin the starting quarterback and going away from Alex Smith, who had done a very solid job since Harbaugh took over last year. Smith obviously not happy about the demotion, but there's certain things that Colin Kaepernick can do that you just can't teach.
And Jim Harbaugh did not detail those. He just said he felt like Kaepernick gave him the better chance to win the next game and didn't go into it, but just feel like he thinks there's more dimensions to Kaepernick's game.
3rd down and 11, Crabtree again. Oh! A one-handed grab for 1st down at the 40. 19 yards. Michael Crabtree.
And these are the hands that got Crabtree the #1 selection as a wide receiver coming here to the San Francisco 49ers. This is why he was the top-rated receiver coming out of college. The best hands in college football, some of the best hands in the game now. After some early struggles, we're seeing those hands on display for Michael Crabtree.
4 catches, 116 yards and a touchdown. 1st down at the 40. 49ers with some rhythm on offense now. Kaepernick. And he'll get rid of it.
And another intelligent play from Colin Kaepernick. Nothing doing downfield. Doesn't force it. Didn't have a running lane. Threw it out of bounds. Fight another down. 2nd and 10. Doesn't take the sack.
Quentin Groves with pressure for Arizona. And you really have to like how this Arizona defense, final game of the season, has been a disappointing season. They're continuing to compete.
Credit Ray Horton, their defensive coordinator, and credit the pride of a terrific unit that won't back down from anyone and still thinks that they can affect the outcome of a game.
Delayed handoff to Michael James, and he'll pick up a 1st down. Great call as LaMichael gets to the Arizona 49, a gain of 12. Well, LaMichael has had a couple of big runs, a 26-yard run and a 12-yard run. Look at the offense this quarter for San Fran. 165 yards.
After opening the game with 3 straight 3-and-outs, they jump-started. Now look at how big they are in the offensive line of San Francisco. 2 extra offensive linemen came into the game.
Frank Gore. David Carter there defensively. Interior lineman for Arizona.
And they brought in Daniel Kilgore, number 67, and Leonard Davis, number 68, to supplement the regular offensive linemen. Trying to get some extra beef on the front and trying to pound away at the defensive line of Arizona.
2nd down and 10. Kaepernick, short drop. Now will bounce it outside. Throws on the run. Oh, a strike. What a throw. Delaney Walker with the grab. That's why you like Colin Kaepernick. That's why you called him when he was at Nevada playing for Coach Alt, the Transformer.
And how many times today have we seen him moving to his left and still deliver strikes? And that's a difficult throw. A right-handed thrower moving to his left and putting it on Delaney Walker downfield. He did the same thing on the touchdown throw to Crabtree.
Here's a kid that had only 1 scholarship offer. It was from Nevada, and Chris Alt gave it to him because one of the assistant coaches saw him in a basketball game and said, "That kid is an athlete." A couple of years later, he's a starting QB, the San Francisco 49ers. 7-6, San Francisco with the lead. The football at the Arizona 25 with 2 minutes to play. First 3 drives, they came up empty. Last 3, they've been moving the football. Kaepernick to Frank Gore out of the backfield. And Gore ambushed as he catches it at the 25-yard line. Sam Acho at the bottom of the pile.
It's well played by Acho. He and Aldon Smith have some similarities. Aldon Smith, the Pro Bowl linebacker for the 49ers. Both of them were down defensive ends in college, had to learn how to play on their feet in the pros, and both are having success doing it. Aldon Smith much more so because of his ability to rush the passer and his sack numbers.
2nd and 8 at the 23. Here's a handoff to Gore. Gore will power his way inside the 20. Adrian Wilson with the tackle.
And here's a spot now where the 49ers are balanced enough that they have the ability to run it on 3rd and 3. It's 3rd and 2. But if they decide to throw it, we're still not seeing the best of Vernon Davis. And this is an opportunity in this part of the field where Vernon Davis would be a target you should look for.
3rd down conversions. 49ers 1 of 5. 3rd and 2 at the 17. Arizona showing blitz. Here they come. And a false start. Niners flinching.
Pete Morelli getting a little conference here. Saw Pete before the game, Gus, and he did ask us to make sure we talked about Don Carlson, who's side judge today, who was going to retire after 24 years as an official in the NFL. A distinguished, terrific career.
We have a false start, number 77, offense. By rule, under a minute, but the game clock running, it requires a 10-second runoff. However, San Francisco is elected to take a timeout. Timeout, San Francisco, their first timeout.
It's Mike Iupati, the left guard.
The Pro Bowl left guard is Iupati, first time. There's Carlson there. Don Carlson, 24 years as an official in the NFL, retiring at the end of this season. Congratulations, Don.
Now the gray hairs can stop. Coming up, it's the Visa Halftime Report. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy will bring you scores, highlights, and analysis from all the action around the NFL. Busy, busy day as we prepare to head into the playoffs next week.
And you notice the 49ers, remember we talked about how balanced they were? That they could run it on 3rd and 2? That's exactly what they did, and that play popped free. It popped big. It got called back now. Now they'll have to throw the football in this situation. I talked about Vernon Davis in this spot. Vernon Davis, Delaney Walker next to each other on the end.
Michael Crabtree in motion. 3rd and 7, 10th play of the drive. Kaepernick sets up deep, looks in the end zone. Moss! Incomplete. Patrick Peterson made up ground when the ball was in the air because Randy Moss certainly had a step.
And that's one of the best attributes of Patrick Peterson. It's not something defensive back coaches like because they don't like to have people running free at all. But you mentioned, look at him running behind Moss, makes up the ground. The ball's thrown more to the inside than the outside, which helps bring Peterson back into the play. And he does his job and knocks it away from Moss, setting up a field goal attempt.
Peterson wears that number 21, his favorite player growing up, Deion Sanders, also a fan of Charles Woodson. 40-yard field goal, Akers. Oh, he missed it again. Uh-oh. He's missed from 44 and 40 yards. David Akers. Nightmarish first half for the veteran kicker.
Last year was a Pro Bowl year, an All-Pro year. Set a San Francisco record with points scored. 44 of 52 field goals last year. 7 of them from 50-plus yards, 7 of 9. You wonder if Jim Harbaugh is thinking he might have a decision to make heading into the playoffs about what to do with David Akers. Will it change his play calling? Will he bring someone in this next week to challenge him possibly before the playoffs? This is a tough situation with a veteran kicker who's provided some big moments in his career.
First down at the 30, 24 seconds left. Hoyer will throw it. Looking up top, this time for Floyd, and incomplete. Terrell Brown defensively for the 49ers. But if you're Arizona, 18 seconds left with the ball, down by a penny, you've got the 49ers right where you want them.
Look, at this stage of the season, you're not going to the playoffs. You can change the 49ers' playoff fortunes. You don't kneel on the ball here. All right, 5 and 10, you don't kneel on it. You go and try and get something done.
They hand it off, Powell. Powell crosses the 30, gets up to about 32. Amok Brooks with the tackle. And that should be the last play of the half. 7-6, Colin Kaepernick and Michael Crabtree hooking up for the Niners. But the Cardinals are giving them a run for their money. We now go to Kurt Menefee in L.A. for the Visa Halftime Watch, which starts now. Back to Candlestick Park, ready for the start of the second half. 49ers on top of the Cardinals by 1. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. Gus Johnson along with Charles Davis, and the Cardinals said they were not going to make it easy for San Francisco, knowing that the 49ers are playing for an NFC West title, and they're doing that in the first half.
They said they would match their intensity. In fact, they exceeded their intensity early. But then as the game progressed, San Francisco finally started to kick it in gear, especially on offense. After starting the game with 3 and outs on their first 3 possessions, Colin Kaepernick became a little more decisive in and out of the pocket, and he started to find Michael Crabtree downfield for some big strikes. Save for 2 missed field goals, San Francisco controlled the game from the second quarter on. As we look at the halftime stats, the passing yards jumped up for them. The total yardage jumped up for San Francisco. The 3 and outs, those were the first 3 drives of the game. 3rd down conversions, neither team covering themselves in glory in that category.
But David Akers, a major story for the 49ers, missing 2 40-plus yard field goals in the first half. And Feely kicks this one out of the end zone. Let's go downstairs to Christina Pink.
Thanks a lot, Gus. You just mentioned Akers. Of course, I asked Coach about him at halftime because Akers looked visibly frustrated throwing his helmet on the sideline. Coach said, hey, I will talk to him at halftime, and we just got to keep this game in our control. Now, I also talked to Cardinals head coach Whisenhunt, and he told me that, I think Hoyer's played pretty nicely today. He made some good throws, but defensively, we cannot give up the big play. Gus?
All right, Christina, thank you very much. 49ers now with the football to start the second half at the 20-yard line. Frank Gore. And he's chopped down, maybe a half yard. Nicely done by Darrell Washington. As you take a look at the playoff scenario for the 49ers.
Win or tie, they clinch the NFC West. Seahawks loss or tie, they clinch a first-round bye. If they win and the Packers lose or tie, or if they tie and the Packers lose, they can clinch it also. And right now, the Packers are losing at Minnesota, with San Francisco up by 1 here at Candlestick.
Minnesota up 20-10. Second down and 9. Kaepernick to throw it. Winds up, and he has his receiver, the great Randy Moss. Darrell Washington brings him down. Randy Moss in his 14th year out of Marshall. Signs as a free agent in the offseason. 4-time All-Pro. Second all-time in NFL history with 156 touchdown catches, trailing Jerry Rice. Look at the numbers. Hall of Fame bound Randy Moss.
Not the same wheels, of course, as in the past, but you still have to pay respect to him. He can still run by people on given plays.
He gained 20. Kaepernick to the sideline. And this time, Vernon Davis, the intended receiver.
As this game progresses, keep an eye on San Francisco's offensive line and how tight their line splits are. What they do is they mass people to the center of the line of scrimmage and to the center of the field, meaning how much distance between the center and the guards and the tackles. Some of the tightest line splits that you're going to see, they keep people in tight. And then when they want to throw the football, you got more people in the middle of the field on defense, and that allows you more access to the outer portions of the field.
Second down and 10. Gore. And a yard. Tell you what was really interesting, sitting in Jim Harbaugh's office the other day, meeting with him. We talked, folks, and he didn't tell us anything.
He did it well, didn't he?
He did it extremely well.
Was it the art of saying nothing while saying a lot? He perfected it well. And all the fans care about is that record right there. 23-7-1. Here's the 49ers head coach with another chance to go to the playoffs. Now they're going to the playoffs. Another chance to win an NFC West title and have a chance to play for a Super Bowl championship. Remarkable job in just 2 seasons for Jim Harbaugh.
Third down and 9. Kaepernick finds Crabtree, turns it up, and picks up a first down and more. Look at the explosion by Michael Crabtree. Very similar to what he did on Sunday night a couple of weeks ago in New England.
And how about the matchup that they end up getting? Because you get Crabtree inside. That's Darrell Washington, the linebacker. He ends up on the coverage. Look at Crabtree. Makes the move. And Darrell Washington is a terrific football player. Many people think that he was a Pro Bowl snub, should be in it. Only weighs about 230 pounds, can run and cover. Crabtree makes the move on him, cuts inside for big yardage.
5 catches, 145 yards receiving for Michael Crabtree. Opening drive of the second half for San Francisco. Kaepernick in the end zone. Walker. Delaney Walker will have nightmares about that one tonight.
And that was not bad coverage by Quentin Groves, but I think that was a terrific throw by Colin Kaepernick. Look where it ends up with Delaney Walker. And I think what helped Quentin Groves was right at the end. Watch right there. He got his hands involved with Delaney Walker's hands. And that did not allow Walker to get both hands up for the football at the moment of truth when the ball arrived. That was well thrown. So they had to stop play because Quentin Groves was too close to the sidelines to play when he came off the field. That's why they blew the play dead.
Delaney Walker, that one hit him right in his hands.
Saw at the end of that, Gus, I really think the hand play of Groves occupied Walker just enough to throw him off as he got his hands up to try and catch the football.
And Colin Kaepernick, since the first quarter, has been playing well. Closing in on 200 yards passing. 2nd and 10. Gore. Not a lot of running room for Frank Gore this afternoon. Dan Williams with the tackle. He'll pick up about 3.
Cardinals defensive front has struggled against the run for much of the year, giving up about 138 yards per game, but today they've done one of their better jobs in shutting down the interior running game that the 49ers are presenting.
This is usually Michael Crabtree time. 3rd down and 7. He's the slot receiver at the bottom of your screen. Kaepernick looks the other way. That ball deflected and incomplete. Good job by Paris Lennon to get a hand on it. So once again, David Akers will get an opportunity. He's missed 2, and listen to the crowd.
And Randy Moss wasn't even looking for the football on the last throw either.
David Akers missing from 44 and 40 yards. This one will be from 44 yards again. Jim Harbaugh showing confidence in his veteran kicker. He's got to get out of his head here. And this time he nails it. A relieved Jim Harbaugh as the 49ers take a 10-6 lead. 10-6 San Francisco. David Akers can take a deep breath now. He finally made one. 1 of 3 in this game. 44-yarder.
Nothing's been easy for him, has it? He missed the one after William Gay kind of talked to him from the Cardinals before the kick. He missed it. And then after this one, he actually got clipped a little bit by Justin Bethel coming through after he made the field goal. Not a single thing easy for David Akers. Not just today, but for much of the season.
You know, last week against Seattle, he kicked 2 field goals in 3 tries. He was good from 54 and 35 and had a 21-yarder block and returned for a Seahawks touchdown.
And do you remember how the season started for him? Kicked a 63-yarder against the Green Bay Packers to open the season.
Stevens howling from the goal line. And he'll get to the 25. So coming up, the San Francisco 49ers defense, one of the best units in the National Football League. They'll try to keep Arizona off the board. Happy holidays, 10-6 San Francisco. This 49er defense, they're sending a lot of guys to Hawaii.
Look at that. And the toughest one is that they're missing that guy right there, Justin Smith. They're hoping to have him back for the playoffs because he's an integral part of their defense, holding down the left side of their defensive line.
Hoyer in trouble and sacked for the first time today. Ricky Jean-Francois in for Justin Smith, coming up with the sack.
Now, will Aldon Smith get a piece of this also? Because Jean-Francois is here, Aldon Smith is here. Jean-Francois beating Darren College, number 71, and getting there. Smith has a hand on him, but to me, as you called it, Jean-Francois should get credit for the sack.
Wait a minute.
Hometown scoring, you might get a half.
We just got a call from Michael Strahan in Los Angeles. He said Aldon will not get a piece of that.
he just called in and weighed in, and he is correct. That goes to Ricky Jean-Francois.
2nd and 19. Oh! Another sack. Back-to-back sacks for the 49ers. This time it's Ahmad Brooks.
And Strahan says, as much as you want to give Brooks, go right ahead. Just don't let this be Aldon Smith. Smith picked up, Brooks comes free, takes down Hoyer. 3rd and long.
First time the fans have really had a chance to get on their feet today. 3rd and 28. And they'll hand it off to Powell. And he goes nowhere. Patrick Willis. So the 49ers on both sides of the football come out, play with terrific energy to start the second half. Correct me if I'm wrong, partner, but they were flat to start this game.
I felt that way along with you. Flat, or maybe, as you mentioned, a little bit uptight about what was out in front of them. Took them a while to get in gear, but from the second quarter on, they're starting to perk a little bit.
Dave's Asadel, 8 yards deep in his own end zone. Ted Ginn Jr. fields it at the 34. Up the sideline. And he'll go down inside the Cardinals 40. A 58-yard punt, a 28-yard return. Michael Adams with the tackle on special teams.
I see an official with his hat off, but I can't find the flag.
There is no foul on the play. First down, timeout.
So the San Francisco defense really stepping up. 2 sacks on the last drive for Arizona. 10-6. 8:49 to play, third quarter, Candlestick Park. An NFC West title on the line for Colin Kaepernick and the San Francisco 49ers if they win this game. Here's the Michael James. And James gets to the 36. Call ** NFL to download NFL Mobile for only $5 all month long.
I think this is a drive for the 49ers. You got to think about taking total control of this game. 3, yeah, that's great. You put 6 on the board here with Arizona's struggles on offense, and you're starting to feel a whole lot better about your situation.
Pump fake, Kaepernick over the middle, caught Delaney Walker, and he's down inside the 10. Walker making up for dropping that ball in the end zone. Kerry Rhodes with the saving tackle.
And how about Colin Kaepernick with his progressions here? Because this play was designed for a big shot downfield. Pump and go, doesn't have it, comes off of it because he had the time. And watch this, Walker working inside from right to left. He was the second target on the progression. That was supposed to go on an out and up to the outside. It was covered, came off of it, sticks it on him in the middle of the field. Well done, Colin Kaepernick.
First down and goal at the 9. Well, Michael James sweeping around the right side. And James, a hole closing. Oh, so quickly. Quentin Groves.
And that is the difference between the NFL and college, isn't it?
Yes.
Because that play for LaMichael James,
that was a touchdown.
And that was a staple play for him at Oregon. Ran it often. That one, he turns it upfield and cuts through and he goes. Here, that hole closes quicker. If you look at the total yards now, San Francisco has taken real control. Look at that since the first quarter, 279 to 10.
Second and goal of the 9. And the inside handoff, Bruce Miller, the fullback. Second year out of Central Florida.
I feel like Jim Harbaugh tried to outguess them a little bit, a little tendency breaker, handing it off inside to the fullback. Bruce Miller was an outside linebacker defensive end at UCF, University of Central Florida, 2-time Conference USA Defensive Player of the Year, an All-American pass rusher, has converted to fullback in the NFL and continues to get better and better at that position.
Third down and goal, this time from the 7. Frank Gore, the single setback. Crabtree in motion. Crabtree! What a throw! What a throw by Kaepernick.
Not only the throw, watch the concentration by Crabtree, because Patrick Peterson, I believe, gets an arm. Watch here, stop it right there. Look at that. See, he's got a hand coming. That throw is perfect. And despite Peterson waving and flashing in front of Crabtree, his concentration stays. Perfect throw, tremendous concentration, touchdown.
5:58 to go in the third. Extra point good. Flag on the play. Big day for Michael Crabtree. All smiles from his quarterback, Colin Kaepernick.
There is no foul for running into the kicker as he was pushed by a member of the kicking team. Timeout.
So Jim Harbaugh, huge gamble, putting in the young second-year player, Colin Kaepernick, paying some dividends right now. Career day for Michael Crabtree, 151 receiving yards on 6 catches and 2 touchdowns to boot.
Yeah, and a few of them the spectacular variety that you called, right? One-handed on the sideline, the concentration catch there, down the middle of the field in the seam route, in between 2 defenders.
Stevens howling from the 1. And LaRod Stevens howling, stopped by Larry Grant on special teams. So let's take a look around the league and the races we're paying attention to.
Just a few seasons ago, that Rams-Seahawks game was for the NFC West title, the last game of the year. Remember that one? And the Packers now have closed the gap with the Vikings 20-17. 49ers win here. They win the NFC West. Need a little bit of help to try and get the number 2 seed. Need the Packers to lose.
First down and 10 at the 22. That ball deflected, incomplete. Jeff King, the intended receiver. Let's go to Patrick O'Neill for an update.
All right, Gus, over in the AFC, well, the Denver Broncos well on their way to their 11th straight win. Look at this catch. Demaryius Thomas from Peyton Manning. Again, 28-3, so, well, if they hang on, that is home field throughout the Denver Broncos. Gus and CD, back to you.
All right, Patrick, one of the great stories, maybe the biggest story of the season, and what Peyton Manning has been able to do in one season in Denver.
Look at how he's helped to elevate Demaryius Thomas, a terrific first-round talent, now playing to that level.
This ball caught by Michael Floyd. And, you know, that brings us to the subject of the Arizona Cardinals and Coach Winston Hunt fighting for his job. He lost his quarterback. He's played 4 different quarterbacks this season. This is a good football coach.
Excellent football coach. You don't find your way to back-to-back NFC West championships, an appearance in the Super Bowl, the most wins in team history, without being a good football coach. But I would defy just about any coach out there to go through 4 different starting quarterbacks in an NFL season and have success. Very difficult to do with the way the game is played nowadays.
Third down and 1. Boyer tries to dump it off and does. Nice job as Jeff King makes the grab, but there's a flag on the play on the far side of the 30.
Illegal shift. Offense, 2 men moving prior to the snap. Number 11 in the back. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
It's Larry Fitzgerald. Rare mistake by the 6-time Pro Bowler.
And that kind of typifies the season. Because you remember the start the Cardinals got off to. They were 4-0. They went to New England and beat the Patriots.
They beat Seattle. They beat New England. They beat Philadelphia. They beat Miami.
And then things went the other direction. A lot of that when Kevin Cobb got hurt at quarterback. Didn't start the season that way, but took charge of this team. And when they lost him, unable to get that early momentum back.
Third down and 6 at the 26. Boyer to the sideline, incomplete. That one thrown high for Andre Roberts.
And when you haven't had much time in an offense and had much time with your receivers, inaccuracy is often the result. That ball was just thrown to the inside of Andre Roberts. Needed to be in a little bit more to the outside where he was. Unable to connect on another third down.
So Dave Zastido comes in to punt for the 6th time. Ted Ginn Jr. back at his own 21. Ginn Jr. comes up and fields it at the 27. A 45-yard punt. 4:22 to play, third quarter. San Francisco taking control. Don't forget, folks, Friday, one of the best bowl games of the year is on Fox. His Heisman Trophy winner and one of the most talked about players in the country, Johnny Manziel, leads 9th-ranked Texas A&M against the 11th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners. The AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic is Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox. 49ers take control at their own 28-yard line. Colin Kaepernick, since the first quarter, has been sensational. To the sideline and caught. Andy Moss, and they say this will stand. Kaepernick with a lot of velocity on his throws, may date back to his days in high school when he was a star pitcher, had a 92-mile-per-hour fastball. Some thought that that was his best sport. But when we talked to him at the 49ers facility, he said, baseball just didn't provide for me what football provides for me.
Said he loves football. He didn't love baseball. He liked baseball. And everyone told him he was crazy for not doing it, not going out and playing baseball. And ever since then, all he's wanted to do is prove all of those people wrong. I'd say mission is accomplished.
Frank Gore, smash mouth for Gore. And he's stopped by Kerry Rhodes, who just had to hold on. A 7-yard gain. And you just wonder, I mean, you look at what Zach Greinke just got from the Dodgers. 6 years, $158 million.
Pitching, always at a premium in the big leagues.
That's what I was thinking.
And that was a right-handed pitcher.
That's right.
Now, you know, lefties usually end up getting the big money. And now let's see if the 49ers decide to mash a little bit. See if they can get their offensive line going and try to control the football and get Frank Gore going.
Here's Gore again. A little slide down inside Arizona territory. Frank Gore needs one big touchdown today.
Right now, he is tied for the all-time lead in touchdowns scored in San Francisco 49ers history with two pretty darn good players, Joe the Jet Perry and Roger Craig, both of them with 50, along, of course, with Frank Gore with the same number. One more puts him all alone as the all-time leader in 49ers history. I mean, Joe the Jet, part of that $100,000 backfield with Hugh the King McElhenney and John Henry Johnson, quarterbacked by Y.A. Tittle.
Gore again. And breaking tackles. Gore pushes his way to the 40. Well, let's talk about those guys you just talked about. Coming into today's game, Frank Gore was tied with those legends, Roger Craig and Joe Perry, with 50 career rushing touchdowns. Roger Craig, known as the man that would give you a concussion with his thighs.
Strong. You see Joe the Jet right there, number 34. One of the all-time greats for any franchise.
Michael James in now. And James trying to get around the corner. Oh, and he is tackled, coughs it up. William Gay. Terrific open field tackle.
It's one of the other things you learn moving to the NFL about making sure you have true ball security. NFL guys, every single play they're going to test whether you get that ball high and tight or not. William Gay with a terrific open field tackle, knocked it free.
Second down and 11 at the 41. Kaepernick, Crabtree loses it, and they'll call it incomplete. Greg Toller dislodging the football.
Barton, I'm going back to something you mentioned earlier about this area. Look at him, not able to possess it. It was close to a fumble, but didn't possess it and make that second move that they talk about, the football move. As he comes down, popped it free about the time he was starting to make the move, made it incomplete. But I go back to what you said. I think they'll take a look at it because they're going to challenge it right now, about the pride of this Arizona Cardinals defense. No matter what the score, no matter what the record, how hard they play every snap. And I'll blame Ken Wisenhunt for challenging this one. This is a close one, and he needs all the advantages he can get.
There's no challenge on this play, previous play.
So they will not challenge it.
Ray Horton, the defensive coordinator, second year here at Arizona, actually interviewed for the St. Louis Rams job last year, and by all accounts did an outstanding job during the interview. Jeff Fisher, of course, got the job there, and a great choice by St. Louis. But Ray Horton and this defense, you're not going to look back over the year and say 5-10 is going to go to the defense. The offense has had more of the issues, more of the injuries, whole lot of missed time by some key players. But this defense has shown up each and every week and played very well.
3rd down and 11 at the 41. Kaepernick drops it off to Gore. And Gore gets to the 36, won't have enough for the 1st down. As Quentin Groves brings him to the turf, so let's see what Jim Harbaugh elects to do.
And remember, Akers got hurt on the last kick. So do you even attempt it, or do you punt the ball and use your defense in this situation?
Looks like they're going to bring out the punt team. Akers remains on the sideline. So Andy Lee will come in. Looks like Paris Lennon may be dinged up a bit as he walks to the sideline. 11th year for Paris Lennon, played in Green Bay, Detroit, St. Louis, now Arizona.
3 straight years with 100 tackles or more. Started every game since he's been with the Cardinals.
Now the offense comes back on the field, and the 49ers will go for it.
Well, you're kind of in that no man's land about where you are on the field. Too short for a punt, maybe too long for a field goal, especially with your field goal kicker hurt. You might need this in playoff time, key 4th down. And the way the defense is playing, I don't think this is much of a gamble for Jim Harbaugh in field position.
Watch Crabtree at the top of your screen. Randy Moss in the slot at the top. Delaney Walker at the bottom. They drop it off. Crabtree, can he get it? Yes, he can. Michael Crabtree. Quality performance by the young man out of Texas Tech. On 4th and 6, he gets 14.
Watch Crabtree 15. He's going to run inside in what they call a whip route or a jerk route. Inside to stop, just stops very quickly. Ball's on him, and then look at the move on William Gay to get upfield for extra yardage before Darrell Washington comes from inside out to tackle him. You mentioned a career day for Michael Crabtree. This is the type of play that can carry him through the playoffs in a big way.
End of the 3rd quarter. San Francisco turning it on top 17-6 and threatening once again. Since the 1st quarter, San Francisco has 338 yards in offense, Arizona with only 18. And as we start the 4th, Niners knocking on the door once again. 1st down and 10 at the Arizona 22. Kaepernick rolling. Gore. And Gore inside the 10. Adrian Wilson, the safety, with the tackle. And Frank Gore may get a shot at his 51st touchdown.
And San Francisco runs their heavy unit on the field. Extra lineman Daniel Kilgore, 67.
Out of the offset eye, Miller and Gore. Here's Gore. Down at the 6. Stuart Bradley, 6th-year player out of Nebraska, former Eagle, with the tackle.
Now they go away from the heavy lineup. Bring back more of a regular set. Moss, Crabtree come back out on the field.
They spot it at the 7. 2nd down and goal. Gore again with the seam, and Gore inside the 5. CD, how important is it for Frank Gore's teammates to get him this touchdown?
I think it's huge because of what he's meant to this franchise for so many years and how they've relied upon him to set the tempo and tone for most games that they play, to set that physical, that physical tone that a team needs when they come out and know what you're going to deal with the 49ers. And he's so well respected that they'd love to get this for him, and they brought the heavy lineup back out for a second, and now I think they're going to call timeout.
And we'll take a timeout as well. 13:02 to play in the fourth. Back after this. Third down and goal right outside the 2-yard line for the 49ers. Frank Gore looking for career touchdown number 51. Rushing the ball. They give it to him inside, and he's got it. Frank Gore goes into the record books. Frank Gore with his 51st rushing touchdown, the most in team history.
That's it, Bob Randy. Take.
And the extra point is good. Frank Gore congratulating his offensive lineman, saying thank you. Number 21. Frank Gore with the 51st rushing touchdown of his career. He's now the all-time rushing touchdown leader with this 49ers organization. And that's saying a whole lot considering what has been accomplished with the 49ers.
Just think about all the players who have come through here that were terrific runners. We mentioned a few already.
Turn the water on.
They are something. I mean, you name it, they can do it.
Now, Fox's football coverage doesn't end when the games are over. Afterwards, stick around for the OT where Kurt, Terry, Howard, Michael, and Jimmy bring you extended highlights, expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and a look ahead to next week's wildcard playoff weekend. America's #1 postgame show, the OT presented by Lowe's, is tonight after the game only on Fox. Brian Hoyer and the Cardinals take over at their own 20, down 24-6. Here's Hoyer to pass on first down. And he finds Michael Floyd. Floyd fumbles the ball. And the Niners have it. Dante Whitner jumped on it.
That was a hustling play, I believe, by Ray McDonald, the defensive lineman, because he hustled from behind, from what I saw, to punch it free. Watch as Floyd makes the move on Culliver 29, right from behind. See McDonald, 91, he knocked the ball free coming from his defensive line position. Whitner falls on it for another fumble recovery and big play by the San Francisco defense.
So San Francisco takes over to 34. First turnover of the day for either team. Kaepernick out of the shotgun. In trouble. And looking for Crabtree. He throws this one out of bounds.
He does have a strong arm, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
I mean, he had nothing in terms of momentum going forward throwing the football.
And when we asked Jim Harbaugh, we said, Jim, why would you make this kind of move? Inexperienced second-year quarterback. He said, the reason I made the move is because I'm giving us the best chance to win the game.
And that's all he said.
That's all he said.
That was it. I think he just brings different dimension to what they do, both in the quarterback run game and with his arm.
Gore skipping. No, make that Michael James skipping through the hole. You got to take a look at some of the stats when he decided to make the decision. Look at Alex Smith's numbers.
I mean, 6-2-1 on a team that was in the NFC Championship game last year. So many were saying, and you asked him point blank, he said, hey, coach, you make that kind of move, you've really opened yourself up to major criticism. It wasn't like you were losing games. And he came back with that same reply, didn't he?
He said, what's the question?
And then told you, we just want to run the best chance to win the next game.
Kaepernick throwing it up top. Crabtree can't get to it. Out of bounds. Toller covering.
And as they head towards the playoffs, this is the type of play here, and I think they'll go for it again on 4th down. Trying to sharpen up, and when you have to pick up key first downs, keep the chains moving, keep possession of the ball. Trying to give this offense a good taste in its mouth as they get ready for the playoffs, whether it's next week, depending on how the outcomes of everything today, or in 2 weeks if they're able to get a bye.
4th and 6 at the 30. And a timeout called by the Niners.
San Francisco, second team timeout. A 30-second timeout.
Akers a little dinged up on his last extra point. Missed too early. Came back, nailed a 44-yarder. Take a look back when he got hit. Here's the extra point try.
Now with Justin Bethel hitting him there. And then after that, this is the extra point. It's that second time, right? Wasn't it Bethel both times?
Yep.
And they said no penalty because he'd been blocked into the play by a 49er. I think that Akers' injury is just giving Jim Harbaugh an opportunity to go for it here on 4th down. You know, I think all things being equal, he probably kicks it. But hey, he's dinged up a little bit. We have some things to work on. We have an excellent lead, and a defense is playing so well. Let's work on some things and try and pick up some first downs, especially in tough situations.
4th down and 6. Kaepernick underneath. Crabtree's close to the first down. Let's see where they spot it. Looks like he has it, though. And he does.
Not only did he show good hands on the catch, he showed good awareness in route running and understanding where the first down marker was, where the sticks were. Because he was contested as soon as he caught the football.
For all you fantasy league guys this season, Crabtree has had huge numbers against Arizona. Today, 7 catches, 165 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Gore. And a flag on the play.
Personal foul, face mask, number 98 defense, after this field goal, automatic first down.
Frank Gore has had a big day, record-breaking day here in San Francisco. And Adrian Peterson tried to do the same thing in Minnesota. Taking on the Green Bay Packers, closing in on Eric Dickerson's record. Anthony Dixon in now. He runs it and gets to the 4. Let's take a look. Chasing Eric Dickerson. Adrian Peterson needs 64 yards to break the record. He's got over a quarter to do it.
And they're not in a position to rest him yet. Last I saw, it's only a 3-point game now with Green Bay.
Delaney Walker in motion. Dixon. NFC playoff races.
But that Russell Wilson has tied the rookie record for touchdown passes set by Peyton Manning today. Minnesota and Green Bay looks like it's coming down to the wire.
Frank Gore back in. Kaepernick. And it just went out of bounds. That's a sportsmanship play.
And that was a similar play. Remember Alex Smith running that in the playoffs last year? Just a pure quarterback run play. And he got to the corner and broke it big. Now here comes Akers out to kick a field goal. Cardinals defense hangs as tough as they can.
David Akers, 1 of 3. This one from 26 yards away. And it's good. 9:07 to play in the fourth. San Francisco 27-6. San Francisco with 9:07 to play. Talked about how coming into this game the 49ers were playing for trophies, silverware, an NFC West title. They're bouncing on the sideline now. Got off to a slow start. Really turned it on since the second quarter. Akers sending it away. Stevens howling. He'll slide down after crossing the 15. Let's go to Patrick O'Neill for a game break.
All right, Gus, some game going on with the Packers and the Vikings. First off, Adrian Peterson busting off a long run. Needs 61 yards to break Eric Dickerson's single-season rushing record. Not just running the ball, though, no, out of the backfield. Christian Ponder hits him for the touchdown. That put Minnesota up 27-17. But then Aaron Rodgers hits James Jones for this touchdown. It's 27-24. Gus and CD, back to you.
All right, here's Hoyer to throw it. Goes to the sideline and has his man. That's Andre Roberts. Adrian Peterson closing in on Eric Dickerson's mark. But Peterson this week saying the record is not as important as getting into the playoffs.
And he's right about that. But most running backs are greedy by nature, and I say that complimentary, as a compliment. What he wants is the record and the playoffs. Bottom line.
And this is Jeff King, the tight end. Nice catch. He'll get close to the first down. I think Hoyer, all things considered, has done a really solid job for Arizona today.
Talk about a guy's been with the team, what, 3 weeks? His first start in the NFL. I agree in terms of poise and presence. You can tell the timing's not totally there with he and his receivers, but this is one of the more difficult defenses to run and throw against in the league.
Here he is again. And Hoyer picks up the first down. Jeff King. And there have been a lot of quarterbacks to play for Arizona since Kurt Warner said goodbye.
Derek Anderson went to a Pro Bowl with Cleveland later. Max Hall for a short time. There's Max Hall mania in Arizona before they realized he was not close to the answer. And Kevin Cobb was signed to big money and actually was playing well this year before he got hurt. And they haven't been the same since in terms of the Arizona Cardinals in season 2012.
Michael Floyd with the catch. Cardinals getting to the line of scrimmage quickly.
It's difficult working against the 49ers is how quickly they get to you and how they contest most passes. See that?
Roberts brought down quickly by Terrell Brown.
Very rarely do you complete a pass against the 49ers and not have someone right on the spot. They contest passes very well and tackle well in the secondary, so that there are very few huge plays downfield.
Ironically, these Cardinals are playing with a sense of urgency because they are auditioning for next year. To use a Beanie Wells quote, here's a handoff.
How did Beanie's audition go today for him?
He didn't play at all.
That ought to tell you something. You know, we talked with Ken Wisenham. We asked him point blank, would that affect his playing time? He said, we'll just have to see about personnel packages and how the game goes. I think we got our answer about personnel packages and how the game went. Beanie hasn't touched the field today.
Hoyer, and picked off. Brown. And he'll step out of bounds. And a flag on the play. There's an injured Cardinal at the 40-yard line.
You always worry on these plays, on change of possession, about the blindside block coming back. You know, as an offensive player transitions to defense and the defense transitions over.
During the return of the interception, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 99 of the intercepting team, 15-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
It's Aldon Smith. See if he can see the block. Terrell Brown picks it off. Welcome back. Adam Snyder, the starting center, on the sideline after taking the tough hit from Smith. Now Alex Smith comes into the game. With 5:57 to go. Colin Kaepernick's day is done. First down. Anthony Dixon. Let's go back and show you the penalty.
Take a look. Adam Snyder, the center, is running, and right here is Aldon Smith, and he's going to throw the block, and you'll see where the penalty comes into play. He stays up, and he hits him shoulder to shoulder, but it was simply gotten to the point now where those types of plays just are not part of the game anymore. The blind side, turn back blocks and hits are going to be flagged. People see them as cheap shots now as opposed to blocks that were legal, really, Gus, not too many years ago.
Michael James spinning. So Alex Smith, his 8th year from Utah, their first round draft pick in 2005, first overall, comes in late here against Arizona. Ironically, in the first game against Arizona, he set the NFL record for highest completion percentage in a game with at least 15 attempts when he went 18 of 19 for 232 yards and 3 touchdowns. One game later against the Rams, he suffered the concussion that relegated him to backup status. He'll throw it. Underneath, the completion, Bruce Miller. Very vocal crowd in support of Alex, although he'll come off the field. On 4th down.
I think this crowd and this fan base recognizes all that he's been through in his time here in San Francisco, the number of coaching changes, the ups and downs, and then the solid play, almost Pro Bowl play that he had under Jim Harbaugh last year and losing his job. But I think they recognize how he's handled it. You know, he hasn't jumped out and made any proclamations or declarations about being unhappy. He just accepted his role as best he could.
Andy Lee to punt. This ball fielded at the 16 by Andre Roberts, and Roberts goes down hard. Navarro Bowman with the tackle. Now next Sunday, Fox Sports brings you an NFC wildcard matchup between two of the league's best teams to find out which one will advance and keep their championship dreams alive. Our coverage begins next Sunday. Check local listings for the game and start time in your area. Let's take a look at the playoff picture.
Well, we know Atlanta will not be playing next week. They have home field advantage throughout the playoffs, and we'll have the bye. The bye is being contested right now. San Francisco, Green Bay still in the running for it. Seattle playing St. Louis, but right now San Francisco looks like they're going to be the division champs of the NFC West and hoping for some help with Minnesota beating the Packers.
And the game is now tied between the Packers and Vikings at 27 apiece. 3:33 to play in the fourth. 2nd and 8 for Arizona at the 24. Hoyer. Nicely thrown ball, and Hoyer finds Michael Floyd. Still running. Michael Floyd all the way down inside the Niners 25. Darcel McBath with the tackle.
Double move at the top of your screen. Gets Tremaine Brock on the move, 26. Then he can't finish the tackle. McBath has to come from the other side of the field to finish things off.
It's a 53-yard gain. Hoyer looking in the end zone. And incomplete. Floyd, the intended receiver. Looks like some miscommunication there on the route.
It is tough, isn't it, though? You get a play against the 49ers, get a big play, right? Very next throw, you're right back to a contested football again. Culliver all over the coverage. Remind me a lot of those great half-court defenses in basketball where every possession's a grinder, and you got it worked and fighting, and you finally scored, and you're not happy, you're relieved. That's what it's like working against the 49ers, every snap, every possession.
2nd and 10. Hoyer drills this one, and incomplete. Michael Floyd unable to hold on.
Like Tremaine Brock had a little bit of redemption there, trying to make a play on the ball.
Third down and 10. Hoyer in trouble. Flag on the play. And incomplete. And Hoyer getting up slowly.
No. Holding. Number 64, offense. Ten-yard penalty. Still third down.
That's Kelemete in for Pat McQuiston.
He had the good catch today off the tip ball, right?
Yes, he did.
Offset that penalty. Brian Hoyer was hoping he would have held him a little bit longer because Tony Girardetti still whacked Hoyer at the end of the play.
Third down and 20 at the 33.
Timeout, San Francisco. Third and final team timeout, a 30-second timeout.
So, some jocular behavior on the sideline. Kaepernick and Crabtree giving Vernon Davis some business about his hat.
That's old school, new school, isn't it?
It's a little too tight.
See, Vernon Davis, you notice he's got the bill where you fold it a little bit. And you notice Kaepernick and Crabtree with the new school, keeping the lid straight. No folding of the bill. In other words, the youngsters are trying to tell Vernon he's showing his age.
So that cap's a little too tight, Vernon, for your head. You like it a little floppy nowadays.
See, is this how they wear it now? That's it, right? Straight across, no one folded. Man, look at Justin Smith next to him. He has his folded, and no one's going to tell him. No one's going to tell him how to wear his hat.
Not at all. Here's Hoyer, dumps it off, and nowhere to go for William Powell. Taken down immediately. Great defense. Ian Williams.
Starting to see all the backups playing now on defense for the 49ers, getting an opportunity to get some run. Here's Justin Smith. They're hoping to get the bye, give him an extra week of rest for the triceps injury.
Hoyer to throw it on 4th down and long in the end zone. Oh, what a catch! Michael Floyd, touchdown. And that's the first touchdown pass for the Cardinals in 7 games.
And the second time today that Floyd has located the football and Culliver has not. Remember earlier in the game, Floyd finding the football downfield and coming back to it. Almost an exact replica, this time in the end zone for a touchdown. Michael Floyd has really elevated his play over the last 8 games, came into today's game with 29 catches in his last 8, and has added to that total today.
So the extra point up and good. And with 1:59 remaining, Niners are bouncing. They're less than 2 minutes away from another title. Don't forget to stay with us following this game. We'll have bonus coverage of a barn burner that's taking place in the Twin Cities between the Packers and the Vikings. Here's the onside kick. Randy Moss on the hands, team fields it. Flag on the play. Boy, was he something special when he came into the league.
Just changed everything. Because it didn't matter what defense you put out there, he could defeat it.
Offside, number 39 of the kicking team, 5-yard penalty from the end of the kick, first down.
The freak, they called him.
Remember, you could throw, whatever the defense was, remember, Gus? You could throw over it, right?
Yep.
He could run past it. He'd run the deep crossing route and catch it and go past everyone as they came from the opposite direction. 2 or 3 people would go up with him. He would go up higher and catch the football.
The Niners at the 44. Michael James running it. And James, first down. Dan Williams stops him. Let's take a look at some 49ers milestones. Colin Kaepernick with a career high 276 yards passing after a slow first quarter. How about Michael Crabtree with the career high 172 receiving yards? And then there's Frank Gore, scored his 51st career rushing touchdown, most in team history.
And I know that Gore's record, because of the historical value, is the most valued on the board there. But to me, what Crabtree did today, that's a #1 receiver adopting that whole persona. You know, where come playoff time, you don't have the same weapons. Manningham's hurt. Moss isn't quite the same as he used to be. A.J. Jenkins hasn't given him anything so far. Delaney Walker, a tight end, is really your 3rd receiver. So everyone's going to kick defenses to Michael Crabtree. He's got to beat them and show that greatness. I think today was a big step in that direction.
So another sensational year for the San Francisco 49ers. They come in and get the job done and defeat the Arizona Cardinals. They are the NFC West champions. Second straight division title for Jim Harbaugh. We'll return to San Francisco to wrap up today's game after these messages. 27-13 the final.